Oh,
we got
some commentary.
quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leviathan is prominent in the Haggadic literature in connection with the advent of the Messiah, referring to Job 41:30, and the pious one shall make a banquet of it. And that's an interesting translation. I couldn't find that translation, actually. The pious one shall make a banquet of it. Anyways, our Johanan, says that at the time of the resurrection, a banquet will be given by God to the righteous, at which the flesh of the Leviathan will be served. Even the hunting of the Leviathan will be a source of great enjoyment to the righteous. We would say that if they're thinking the righteous are, resurrected saints or people, we seem to see from the scriptures that it's the angels who are charged to, take care, look after righteous. That they are. That's right. Yeah. Would you read this one?
So this goes on to say, and Gabriel will be charged with the killing of the monster, but he will not be able to accomplish this task without the help of God, who will divide the monster with his sword. According to another Haggadah, when Gabriel fails, God will order the Leviathan to engage in a battle with the ox of the mountain, the Shor Habar, which will result in death to both of them. Not only will the flesh of the Leviathan furnish food for the table of the righteous, but there will be a great supply of it in the markets of Jerusalem.
Interesting. Yeah. I like that they said that the ox of the mountain, they refer to Behemoth as.
Okay. So, yeah. And just for the viewer again, where's this info coming from?
Oh, these are just, like it said, Haggadic literature. These are rabbis, early rabbis. I didn't have a citation necessarily for each of these quotes. It was just something I found written where these guys were quoting some rabbis.
They were talking about Leviathan and Behemoth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just commentary, guys, right? Not inspired scripture necessarily. We can't take every word of theirs as fact, but these are some of the legends held in their traditions, which I thought was interesting to pair with it. From the hide of the Leviathan, God will make tents for the pious of the first rank, girdles for those of the second, chains for those of the third, and necklaces for those of the fourth. The remainder of the hide will be spread on the walls of Jerusalem, and the whole world will be illuminated by its brightness. So earlier we read that Leviathan has eyes like the morning, could mean that it's bright eyes, right? He has shiny eyes. Apparently, maybe his skin could also be bioluminescent, like some of the creatures of the deep, right? We see when we're looking at deep oceanic creatures and life that oftentimes they can produce their own light because of how deep in the darkness of the waters they are. So that'd be cool if he was shiny and the skin of him was used for something, right? Maybe make some sukkahs.
Yeah. I think they showed that kind of imagery in the King Kong movie where he goes radioactive and he starts glowing from the inside out.
No way, I didn't catch that. Yeah.
It's interesting. So it goes on to say, the Holy One, blessed be he, will in time to come make a banquet for the righteous from the flesh of Leviathan. For it is said, companions will make a banquet of it. The Holy One, blessed be he, will in time to come make a tabernacle for the righteous from the skin of Leviathan. For it said, can you fill tabernacles with the skin? The rest of Leviathan. I don't know.
That it seems to me he was quoting a scripture there, because when the last time he said, for it is said, companions will make a banquet of it, we find that in Job. So that's the other reason I like looking at the commentary, because you never know what scriptures they had available to them or what versions of the scriptures and what those said at the time when this commentary was written. So I don't know of a verse that says, can you fill the tabernacles with his skin? Do you?
I don't. We may have to check the Septuagint again in Job 40 and 41,
Yeah.
I don't remember it off the top of my head. But he goes on to say that the rest of Leviathan will be spread by the Holy One. Blessed be he upon the walls of Jerusalem, and its splendor will shine from one end of the world to the other, as it is said, and the nations shall walk at your light, and kings at the brightness of your rising.
From the tractate Baba Batra, one of those old rabbis. I thought this was one of the most interesting of the commentary I found on it. It is customary to recite a prayer at the conclusion of Sukkot that speaks of Leviathan. So apparently, like in Judaism, there's a legend or a customary prayer that they'll pray at the Feast of Tabernacles, as it's called, Sukkot. May it be your will, Lord, our God, and God of our forefathers, that just as I have fulfilled and dwelt in this Sukkah, so may I merit in the coming year to dwell in the Sukkah of the skin of Leviathan next year in Jerusalem.
That's interesting. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but from my speculation, as far as the timing of the return of the Lord around Passover, and then the Passover and unleavened bread feast happening, and then the several months, like the 3 to 4 months, it's going to take all the survivors of the nations to travel to the New Jerusalem. that would make sense if suddenly by the time they get there, it's the end of Sukkot, which is the last great day of the 8th day of Sukkot, which is the great ingathering, the feast of ingathering. All the nations are ingathering to Jerusalem to be saved and to be fed. That would make sense to me that on their way there, they're sustained by the manna that falls again from heaven.
Very much so. I'm reminded of Zechariah 14, verse 16, where it's talking about that the surrounding nations dwelling outside of the kingdom during the millennial reign, where there's still mortals, that these nations are commanded to come and celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, or else their nation doesn't get rain and stuff like that. Whereas part of the commandment for celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles is that you got to dwell in a tent for 7 days, right? 8 days. And so that would be awesome of the Father to provide the tents.
Yeah,
especially if he's got this massive slain, potentially 300-mile long sea serpent that he's slain to not only be cut up and portioned out for food, but if he's resourceful, then he's going to make use of the skin too. That would just be an amazing part of his plan. I'd love to see that come to fruition if this is true.
I watch a lot of videos that talk about like tiny homes and repurposed homes, and they always mention like, oh, these cabinets are repurposed wood from this and that, and I'm just laughing, and I'm like, yeah, the Father's going to repurpose some Leviathan for a whole bunch of things. It seems like, if these statements are true, right? It's amazing,
right? Some Leviathan fillets and some behemoth sirloin, some strip steak off that behemoth. Man, I wonder if anybody else will get to eat some. I want to at least try some. I'm going to pop up at the banquet. Hey guys, just got resurrected. Can I try?
Yeah.
Can I check it out?
Yeah, we already had our meal, but I just want to stop out here, see how you guys are doing. You gonna eat all that? You gonna eat all that?
I don't mean to be greedy. It's just a taste.
Yeah,
Give
they're
me a
like,
bite. Yeah,
it's not fair. You know, your stomach process is better than ours. You got a glorified body. You're just like, yeah, let me see some of that. Let me share with a brother.